Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even consider it such, know you'll stand tall. Sat and watch from the sidelines one too many times. Wicked games to play make me wanna lose my mind. Found solitude knowing it'll be over soon. Ever need a boost, count on me for the 1-2.
Welcome to the Suplex Sports Podcast. This is your boy Mish. And of course, this is your Weekend Roundup. Big weekend this past week in the fight game, along with week 2 in the NFL. Not to mention, also some history made in the WNBA. But first and foremost, we're going to get into it with UFC Noche. Live from the Sphere in Las Vegas, Nevada, where Merab Dvalishvili went against Sugar Sean O'Malley. Pretty decent fight. O'Malley, he looked a little bit human. Not the same Sugar Sean that we've seen over the last few fights. Dvalishvili, he brought his game, ultimately winning by unanimous decision all 5 rounds. He is now your bantamweight champion, and that pretty much sets it up for a potential rematch, I think, with O'Malley. Other than that, pretty good fight, all 5 rounds. It was one point in the match, it was kind of awkward. Dvalishvili had O'Malley in kind of a choke, let him go. Turned his back on him, and O'Malley came out and tried to give him that quick duff, as we call it. You know what I'm saying? To try to drop it, but nonetheless, 5 rounds, good fight, and I look forward to a potential rematch. Definitely. Also on the women's side, you had Valentina Shevchenko go against Alexa Grasso for the flyweight championship. This is essentially a rubber match between the ladies, with Valentina Shevchenko coming back on top and beating Alexa Grasso via unanimous decision. Pretty good fight. I think that might be it in terms of trilogies. We rarely in the fight game see fights go for a 4th fight. But it's been pretty entertaining thus far. I think it's probably time for the ladies to look at other opponents, and if the stars align for them to go back again against each other, then so be it. I'm all for it. Definitely. Was definitely not born. All right. Big fight of the weekend. Canelo from Mexico versus my man Edgar Berlanga from Puerto Rico. A lot of trash talk pre-fight leading up to this fight. It was spicy. It was spicy out there, definitely. You know how, the Latin cultures and how they represent, and everybody was representing to the fullest. Rey Mysterio was actually at the Sphere, but other dignitaries was at the fight as well. I seen Tyron Lue, I seen Brian Shaw. Overall, pretty good fight. Dirty Dom? Oh, I must have missed Filthy Dom? Missed my boy. My boy himself. We got good taste. My boy Filthy Dom in the building as well. But honestly, damn good fight. Between both Canelo and Edgar Berlanga. Hard hitting, explosive. Everything you pretty much wanted into a fight. I think Edgar is probably, he's going to be the next big thing. Canelo came out on top with the victory. They had an explosive 3rd round. Canelo caught Edgar with a bullet fast left, dropped him, and Edgar started, hitting his gloves, you know what I'm saying, like out of frustration, because he probably studied that, knew it was coming, and thought he had it time to prepare. But I mean, it was sneaky fast. And even when I see it on replay, I'm like, yeah, that dude's got it. The tail of the tape for that fight, by the way, was Canelo coming in at 5'7.5", and Edgar was 6'1". When basically Edgar having damn near a whole 2.5 reach advantage over Canelo. Canelo's a dog, man. He's a dog. Like, seriously, man. Canelo is. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at him, man. He's got his neck all swolled up. You know what I mean? Looking all right, whatever else have you. But dog, I mean, that dude can. He was taking some shots. Berlanga was dishing it out. Canelo had him. Was taking some shots as well. It was a really good, entertaining fight. I don't know what's next for Berlanga in terms of the fight game. Himself in his first loss. And also, this was actually Mexican Independence Weekend as well, so it was pretty litty. Pretty litty as well. But I think going forward for Berlanga, I mean, the sky's the limit for the guy, man. The guy's got hands. He's got, I mean, tremendous heart. It looks as though, like I said, it looks like he knew he made a mistake and he got caught for it and paid for it. But other than that, man, I think it was a straight up fight. Not disappointed in one way, shape, or form. Would love to see them get it back in, maybe somewhere down the line. Then again, we don't know how much Canelo got left in the tank at 34 years old. You know, he might, I don't know, maybe a few more years or so, but who am I to say? You know what I'm saying? But all in all, great fight. Shout out to Canelo, shout out to Edgar. Y'all guys went in there and did y'all thing, and we'll see what the future holds in terms of fights. So we're trying to figure out what's going on with that Bud Crawford thing, but we'll see what's crack-a-lacking with that later on down the line. Also, Major League Baseball, we are in the hunt for October. The hunt for October is on and popping. There is about 12, 13 games left in the season, as teams are already making their push for the postseason, and of course those wild card contenders trying to get right back in it to see if they can make any noise. At this rate, things may be. I'm not saying things is already set as of yet. I'm just not going to go out there and start throwing out a preview of potential MLB playoffs, because it's not right, considering anything can happen in baseball, and teams are really, between 5 and as much as 5-6 games out maybe in their respective conference. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and run it down real quick. Leading the American League, New York Yankees at 87-63, Cleveland at 86-64, Houston at 81-68. Pretty much the first two teams to get the bye. So if things play out the way they are playing out right now, looks like New York and Cleveland will go ahead and get a bye week. Bye going into the playoffs. And currently leading the wild card is the Baltimore Orioles at 84-66. They're 4.5 games over, which is good. In the KC Royals, they're plus 2.5 games over, with Minnesota trailing 79-70. Outside looking in, Detroit, they're 2.5 games back. Like I said, Baltimore or Kansas City would have to go into a serious losing streak for them to get back into it, essentially. As well as Seattle, which is also 2.5 games back, and the Boston Red Sox at 4.5 games back as well. But at some point within the next week or so, some teams may be mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. So, like I said, we still got some games left. We'll see how it shakes out and see where we go from there. National League, Philadelphia, they are currently leading at record of 90-59. LA Dodgers, a record of 88-61. The Brewers at 86-63. Those three teams are currently leading the National League, as it would look like Philadelphia and LA, if things held as they are right now, would get byes, with Milwaukee playing potentially San Diego, Arizona, or Atlanta. As in a wild card, San Diego is currently 85-65. There are 3 games up in the wild card. Arizona's 83-66, 2 games up in the wild card. And currently, right now, Atlanta and the New York Mets are both tied at 81-68. Technically, as it stands right now, Atlanta holds a tiebreak over the Mets. So we'll see how it all shakes out. The Cubs, the Cards, and I think the Reds are still outside looking in, but I think it's pretty much tied up in that respective division of the National League. But like I said, 12 more games left. I mean, we'll see when people are mathematically eliminated. Probably within the next week or so, we'll let you guys know in terms of that. All right. NFL Week 2. That's right. Seattle Seahawks beat the New England Patriots 23-20 in overtime. My biggest takeaway from the game is the Patriots, when they had the opportunity to do so, they should have just selected DK Metcalf over N'Keal Harry. We will never let that one down. That's all I got to say on that. Chicago versus Houston in the Sunday night matchup. CJ Stroud and Nico Collins, they're in sync. They got the boys humming. D'Amico Ryans. Don't get me wrong, Chicago's got a very good defense. They hung in there. If Caleb Williams was a little bit more polished, I think they potentially could have capitalized and won that game. I did see Caleb throw a potential touchdown that got away from Odunze, or essentially Odunze should have got. If Odunze would have caught that touchdown, we could be talking about a potential 20-19 win. With Chicago's defense holding firm, staying pat, but Caleb did get sacked about 7 times. Kansas City Chiefs, they beat the Cincinnati Bengals by the score of 26-25. The comeback effort by KC. Ice Boston and Jay Jones, as we discussed earlier, of how well Cincinnati goes and plays KC. Typically, Cincinnati's been coming out on top, but nonetheless, Kansas City, they went ahead, found a way to win, got the W. Probably won't see Cincinnati again unless there was some type of playoffs implications, or actually if they do meet in the playoffs. I think that was pretty much a one and done. And kudos for the NFL for getting that heavyweight matchup out the way with that. Pittsburgh went ahead. They beat Denver 13-6. Justin Field is currently 2-0 as a starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Arizona dusted the LA Rams 41-10. It was a breakout game for Marvin Harrison Jr. Two big touchdowns, over 100 yards, I believe 130 something yards receiving for the day. Kyler Murray and Harrison Jr., they're going to do some big things. And I think they're just getting started in Arizona. It'll be very intriguing going forward. The Las Vegas Raiders beat the Baltimore Ravens 26-23. Baltimore is now starting the season 0-2. I don't know if they're hitting the panic button yet, but it's too early. It's only 2 games in. Cleveland, they beat the Jags 18-13. Deshaun Watson did get the win as quarterback. Despite things that he's going through, we shall see in the next coming days or weeks how things shake out with Deshaun. I gotta get that dude massage coupon. I can't call him no more. Jaden Daniels got his first win as the Washington Redskins beat the New York Giants 18-21. The Giants did everything they were supposed to do. Everything they were supposed to do. Breakout game for Malik Neighbors and everything. Everything they were supposed to do. Just couldn't come clean. believe Brian Daboll was pretty upset. Has every right to be. And it's the Giants. All right. Aaron Rodgers got his first win as quarterback for the Jets as they went ahead and took care of Tennessee 24-17. Baker Mayfield, he ain't playing no games this season as they are now 2-0. The Bucks took care of Detroit 20-16. Big game. Big game for Tampa Bay in that respect. Facing the juggernaut Detroit Lions. Also, Sam Darnold is 2-0 as Minnesota Vikings quarterback. Yeah. I gave him 7 wins. All right, this season. He's got 2. He's got 5 more to go. 5 more to go. You know what I'm saying? But we all know after that third game, the ship starts going downhill with Sam. Am I a hater? No. No. Just a personal sibling rivalry against the Vikings around here. Take it as you want to. Yeehaw. Now, Malik Willis got his W, coming in for the injured Jordan Love and beating Indianapolis Colts 16-10. Good feel-good win for Green Bay, as you know they may be out with Love for an extended period of time. We'll see what they do. Go Willis. Good W. At long last, Bryce Young has been benched by the Carolina Panthers during the game versus the Chargers, as the Chargers went ahead and tapped that Carolina ass 26-3. And of course, we all already touched upon the Buffalo Bills and Miami game. Of course, Buffalo won the game with Tua going down injured. Report did say that Tua is not looking to retire right now, and he's actually going to get some extended medical treatment and hopes to resume playing in the NFL. We shall see what happens. We'll keep everybody close and updated on that one. That was pretty intriguing as we shift into the news with a bunch of injuries this past Sunday as well. New England Patriots linebacker Juwan Bentley's out for the season with a torn pec. And of course, the aforementioned Bryce Young has been benched. They had enough. And for what it's worth, you know, with Andy Dalton coming in as the number 1 quarterback, I think they probably rushed Bryce Young into the situation early, honestly. It probably would have been better for him to sit there and develop a little bit behind of a veteran quarterback, get the tutelage and knowledge, and then go ahead and apply the craft, in which he essentially did. I believe Cam was there. Was Cam there? He needed a little bit more time, and they threw him out there. So that's all I'll say about that. Joe Mixon, he was injured Sunday night, and with one of those hip drop tackles that NFL and the NFLPA has been talking about so much, very, very dangerous. At first, I just thought it was just like, some things were just freak injuries or whatever else have you when you perform the maneuver, but after seeing it in the way, Mixon caught his ankle up, and I was like, yeah, I could see. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a hell of a takedown maneuver. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's doing too much. And Mixon, pretty much addressed it via social media, saying basically to the NFL and NFLPA, you all talked about it, putting rule into place. Now it's time to see what y'all gonna do about it, essentially. Yeah, that was pretty intriguing. Also in the same game, Azeez Al-Shahir, he pretty much cuffed Roshan Johnson on national television, folks. Oh yeah, he cuffed him. And Roshan, he sit there, and kudos to Roshan, because, hey, Roshan, he looked at him like, man, you crazy? And that's that's somebody you really don't want to mess with, honestly, man. The cat you gave him a good shot and he just sat there and looked at you like, is you stupid? So Roshan basically said, he basically took everything he had to hold back from unleashing the fury on Al Shahir. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Al Shahir is gonna be fine. I don't know if he'll get maybe suspended a game or whatever else have you, but come on, man, it's too much. But I don't know. Had it been me, yeah, I don't think if I can hold back. But at the same time, kudos to Roshan Johnson and holding restraint in that type of situation and not losing your cool, because I'm pretty sure that could have went a whole nother way. That's damn sure. Pretty much. Deebo Samuel looks like he might be missing some time with a calf strain. Looks like there's some growing pains going out there in San Fran. You have Christian McCaffrey. He's on the IR right now, and now you got Deebo expected to miss some time. Things could get a little, seasons could get a little rough out there in the West for San Francisco. We shall see. I mean, guys are gonna step up. Jordan Mason, he's done a pretty good job thus far. Of course, Ayuk. Expect to see a little bit more JON Jennings, Kittle. You guys got to get in there and pull their weight. We'll see what happens. Cooper Kupp, he's potentially headed to the injured reserve with Puka Nacua as well, as he got injured in the game the other night. It's just, I don't know. Cooper had a very strong first game of the year, and I thought Cooper was right back, but these leg injuries are a little bit hard to navigate. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting in age or anything that into play with Cooper Kupp. Hell of an athlete, hell of a talent. Sometimes you just have setbacks at the wrong time, essentially. So, but yeah, he could be on the injury reserve with Puka. That leaves the Rams pretty much razor thin at wide receiver. But nonetheless, we'll see how they navigate those waters. Also, Rams safety Juwan Johnson, he's out 4 to 6 weeks with a hairline fracture as well. Isaiah Pacheco, 6 to 8 weeks with a fractured fibula. Didn't see that one coming, but nonetheless, we all know about KC. They find ways to win. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think he's still out for a little bit, but we'll see who's man in the backfield. I believe they did draft a running back. He did come in. Didn't do much. Jets linebacker Jermaine Johnson, he tore his Achilles. He's out for the year. Bad hit. Justin Jefferson, he had a quad injury. Left the game with a quad injury third quarter, but since then came back out. Just came out to the media and just said he'll be good to go. But officially he is listed as day to day. WNBA news. Congratulations, a salute, Miss Asia Wilson. 1,000 points in the season. The first one to ever to do it in the WNBA. A salute to you for holding it down, Miss Asia Wilson. Handling your business on the court. I salute to you, my lady. As well as Miss Caitlin Clark. I mean, a phenomenal talent Caitlin is. And she went ahead and she scored 746 points, the most in the rookie year, as she's doing her things right now. So pretty much with Angel Reese out for the year, I think it really wasn't a debate anyway, honestly. But Caitlin Clark should be the Rookie of the Year. Asia Wilson most likely is your WNBA MVP. Pittsburgh Penguins, they re-signed Sid the Kid for about 2 years, close to $9 million annual average as well. And last but not least, something that put a Joker-like smile on my face this weekend. My boy, back. Johnny Bones Jones, baby. JBJ. Going against Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight championship of the world at the UFC 309. As well as this very well could be Jon Jones' last match in the UFC, as he has stated that he does plan to retire after this matchup with Stipe. So, Jon wins this. He just goes out on top as essentially the GOAT in MMA. And there's just a long list that comes underneath him. Don't get me wrong. Y'all know through some hardships and things that have happened in his life over the years, he probably could have more fights underneath his belt. But for what it's worth, people try to discredit him for whatever. The whole, I understand. I guess taking Viagra or whatever else have you before the fight and stuff like that or whatever else. Yeah, of course, you pee in the cup, They're gonna say it's dirty. I mean, at his age, he's saying he needs a little, for the lady. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people who got their own take on it. It is what it is, man. But if this will be his final match, I think that Jones is gonna go out on top. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you all have been waiting for. Suplex of the week. Suplex of the week goes to Yeehaw! Those Dallas Cowboys, baby. Yeah, those Cowboys. New Orleans done came into Dallas like it was Mardi Gras and put that thing on you. Yeah, they put on that Uncle Shay with the lights on, not off, in Texas Stadium. Yes, they did. They went in there and just straight popped them on the bumpkin. My man Alvin Kamara went in there and ran wild. Suplexing everywhere. 4 touchdowns. Came out with the German suplex. Came out with the Northern Light suplex. Came out with the T-bone suplex. And then came off the top rope with the super duper superplex. Davey Boy Smith. Suplexes all around for them Cowboys. Embarrassing. Awful. It's Jerry's world, baby. It's Jerry's world. And we're going to ride it all the way into the end. We got a long season to go. You ain't going to let that 41-10, defy them. You know what I'm saying? Get blown out at home like that. A lot of expectations, things of the nature. But we're just gonna say they had a little hiccup. Now, they hiccup like that one more again? It could be that somebody's already in playoff form. But I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna let it play out. Yeehaw! Dallas Cowboys, you been suplexed this week, baby. You been suplexed. Folks, I need you all to please share, like, and subscribe here to the Suplex Sports Podcast, as we are up on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube, the TikTok, as they say, soon to be Twitter, X. And we do plan on at some point doing a live on maybe Twitch, but we'll get to it. But we just need you all just to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and holla at us here on the Suplex Sports Podcast. This is the Weekend Roundup. And I'm just going to go ahead and lasso up and get on up out of here, pars. You know what I'm saying? Yeehaw! This has been the Weekend Roundup, Suplex Sports Podcast. This is your boy Mish, and I'm going to see you all one-on-one next week.